Hello, I'm David. I'm a master's student at TU Munich. I will be affiliated with the Broad Institute later this fall. And basically, Sebastian and I, we started BioJS 2.0 as a Google Summer of Code project. And now you all expect me to talk about BioJS in the library in the future, but that's not my intention. That's basically what Sebastian is going to talk in the next talk. I want to talk about something exciting which we did at the Technische University of Munich. And we try to teach our students BioJS like last fall and last summer, and I want to share some reasoning about that. So basically, BioJS is getting very popular. When you I did that Stack Overflow search like a week ago, and you always see like, okay, hey, I want to use a Node.js library, how can I implement it? And yeah, I said, yeah, and there's quite a discussion going on about BioJS. And basically, BioJS is not only a library of components, of web visualizations in biology, but basically the main idea, I think, is BioJS is also a community of developers who help each other and who develop for each other. And we are doing a lot for developers, biologists and computer scientists, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But we are not doing a lot for students yet. And basically, when you think about that BioJS 2.0 started as a student project at the Technische University of Munich, it would be very close related to why not try to include the students, why not try to empower the students to help grow the community. So that's what we thought for starting the next semester. We thought about, okay, how can we bring BioJS into the lecture halls? And we thought about a concept which, I can tell by experience because I'm still a student in my last semester. When somebody's telling me, I will forget. If you show me, okay, maybe I remember, but next time I will forget. So our basic concept was we are trying to teach a lecture which already in the beginning we tried to convince students to participate in the community and in the end actually develop components for BioJS. So our concept was very simple. Theory and project divided. Basically what I want to say before that is that all the course material is open source and can be if you guys want to also give a similar lecture or want to learn about BioJS, I think that's a good point to start because many students will be successful, as later I will tell you. And just talk to me afterwards if you want to get the material. Basically, we started with a theory. We wanted to talk about HTML, CSS, SVG, but the core of the whole lecture was to have a project which the student worked over a couple of weeks and in the end submitted to BioJS itself. And it turned out to be pretty well. So the conclusion is that, like Benedict, for example, introduced this RNA viewer, which was basically a student project. So he was a student of ours, and he developed it in a few weeks. And also, like a gene Venn diagram, which was developed by a team of our students, and the RNA sequencing, all very, very pretty components, which were for us a huge surprise that. But maybe it's like young people, they are like more affiliated to web component, web design, something like this. So we got overall awesome rankings from the lecture, which of course makes us very happy. A lot of new components, so if we have the statistics to see how many components we get over time, and if you see when the lecture, you can immediately see where the lecture was because then we had a significant growth of components. And we even had, as I said, people joined the community afterwards because they had a lot of fun. So to just give an idea that I want to put in the room. So basically we had 10 new components by teaching one university. And what about when we also try to reach the 16,000 other universities? So if you have interest in the material, come to me afterwards. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
What about the hackathon tomorrow? What are your plans for tomorrow?
So tomorrow we are...
I will talk about this later.
Huh?
This is about this.
So then I let Sebastian talk.
Sorry.
Yeah. Any more questions? Sure.
What semester was that?
It was master's students, yes.
Did they come up with their own projects or did you give them ideas?
So it was mixed. We had a collection of ideas. We sent around emails to the community saying, okay, guys, what do you need, like, to the biology community? We had a lot of ideas coming back, and we proposed them to the students, but also some students came up with their own ideas. For example, the Venn diagram was supposed to be like only 3 circles, and they said, why not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? It was very nice to see that. Yeah. And also, I think it could be also a bachelor course because, yes.
Yeah, because most of our students then actually had no idea about JavaScript before taking the class. So learning them JavaScript was actually the first for them.
So just as a comment, I think it's a great idea because this is really bringing the next generation, really getting it there. The question, or another question, is you have also been key players in the Google Summer of Code. So how would you compare the two experiences?
So basically, what we tried to, the Google Summer of Code was more like a learning by doing, do it yourself, and we did a lot of mistakes, Sebastian and I, but it was a very intense experience, I would say, and of course, supported by Google, it makes things easier. So this was supported by ECTS credits by the students, and they had us as teachers already, so we could tell them what to not do, which mistakes shouldn't be repeated. But I think if you take the Google Summer of Code experience, that's a totally different thing. So that's more very intense programming, while this is more knowledge-based and trying to connect both theory and practice.
Sure. Do you have the YouTube videos or do you make some videos?
This is an awesome idea, and we actually think about it because there are no videos. But there is teaching material online.
Yes. So we have teaching material online, the slides, and also the projects of the students are also online. So you can have a look.
Actually, I have applied this year to edX for teaching an online course in JavaScript. Last question.
Have you talked to Elixir? Not Elixir, Elixir UK is responsible for delivering the training component of the Elixir network, and they might just be interested in something useful to teach.
Well, I think there is a conflict of interest there because I'm technical coordinator from the UK, so some
conflict of interest.
Yeah,
there should be a collision as a common purpose.
So it is supported. We did get funding from Elixir for 2.5 years. So it's a lot more complicated because you need to demonstrate. I think that the major problem for Elixir, for BioJS to become Elixir UK, is that each node supports a specific type of resource that is for the country, within the country, whereas BioJS is kind of international. And that's a barrier because no single country owns the project. And the way Elixir is set up is that each country has their own resources that they support. And so that's a little bit of a limitation. Rafa, are you here?
Yes, I wanted to mention. I wanted to mention something related. I think, for instance, Elixir is supporting the software carpentry initiative, and that's an international. So Manuel asked me to come here. So Elixir is supporting, for instance, the software carpentry initiative, and that's international. And I think the BioJS training and this idea with the students and to support the students, I think is something that probably C could do. So the support to the software carpentry came from a proposal and a recommendation. So that recommendation went through a process, and afterwards it was awarded, and I was awarded with some funding and with a strategy to go across Europe and try to provide some training across Europe. So I think we could do something very similar, and I would be very happy to help to go that process to go through. At the end, I'm not the one deciding, so I'm happy to support the project. And I think one thing is to support the training, another thing is to support a project. As Manuel was saying, it's probably a little more difficult to get support for the whole project or the tools. But the training, I think, is feasible.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Sebastian, down on stage. Can you do the next one?